Do you want to start a local business that can make $5,000 a month? Today in this video, we're going to be breaking down 5 different businesses with low startup costs you can start this week. Hey, my name is Anthony Shandamonico, and this is my series on local profitable service businesses. Today, we're going to be covering 5 different businesses that you can start for a very low startup cost. First business I'm going to be talking about today is window cleaning. Window cleaning actually happens to be on this list one of the quickest businesses you can start, one of the lowest costs. As far as window cleaning goes, you could start with a bucket and a squeegee. You can get this equipment for, less than $100. Each job that you do will be typically, $199 to $299, depending on the size of the house. Do window cleaning, you're probably gonna want to start out with commercial buildings or small houses, just because if you don't have the ladders to get up on the second stories. But the nice thing about window cleaning is you can upgrade your equipment very quickly. You can get a water-fed pole system. This will allow you to get 2 stories, 3-story houses from the ground without needing a ladder. So window cleaning, definitely a great business. There's a big demand. Every building has windows. People want them cleaned. They get dirty very quickly. You can do windows, once every month, once every other month for customers, depending how quick they want them done. Typically commercial customers, you're gonna be doing a lot. Residential, they might get it done 2 or 3 times a year. But windows is a great opportunity. It's very low startup cost. You can charge anywhere from $100 to $300 per job. You can grow it, you can scale it quickly, and you can train people how to do it very easily. It takes very little training, so you can grow this business and scale it quickly. This is probably one of the best businesses I'm going to talk about today. Number 2 is mobile car detailing. I actually ran a mobile car detailing business when I first started my business journey. This was 3 years ago. The equipment costed me roughly about $800, so you could start off with less than $1,000. What you can do is you can start cleaning the inside of cars. You get, your basic vacuum. You don't even need an extractor. You get all your chemicals. You go on Facebook. You send messages in all of the groups near you. You can get customers. People want their cars cleaned. People spend typically, 25% of their life in their car. They want it clean. This is a great business where you can help people so that on their way to work, they get to drive in a clean car. On their way home, they get to drive in a clean car. People want this done. Some people will pay you once a month, twice a month. It really depends on the person. You can do interior, you can do exterior detailing. It really just depends on what you want to do. And then if you want to scale, you want to grow, you can learn how to do paint correction. So fixing paint on cars, you can learn how to do tinting. All this stuff comes once you build the business. But to start, mobile detailing is a great one because it's very low startup cost. I did it, and you can typically charge, from $200 to $400 for the inside of a car. Sometimes a little less if it's a smaller car that's clean, but people are willing to pay $200, $300, $400 to get their car cleaned, because for a lot of people, they have not had their car cleaned, and they do a basic cleaning, but they don't do a nice cleaning in years. And as soon as they see your message, if not, if other people aren't messaging, you try to beat your competition to the punch, message people, put out signs, you're gonna get the job. They're gonna want their car cleaned. And if you do a good job, just like window cleaning, just like recurring customers are gonna tell their friends, they're gonna tell their family. This is a great business. A lot of these easy, low startup cost businesses have a lot of, recurring revenue where if you do a good job, they're going to tell their family, they're going to tell their friends, maybe you get jobs from their neighbors. That's how you scale this business. And then just like window cleaning, these are both very easy to train people. They don't need high skills, they don't need certifications. You can scale a team, you can build this business very quick. Number 3 is going to have a little bit higher of a startup cost depending on your situation, is junk removal. I offer junk removal right now. I think in my other videos I mentioned I run a painting business and a Christmas light installation business. But I also offer junk removal because I have a trailer. If you have a truck already, this is a great business. If you do not have a truck, I would say maybe start something else. Junk removal is a great business. People will pay, $100 to $1,000 depending on what junk you're removing. All you do is, like the same thing, put out signs, put out flyers, post on Facebook groups saying, do you guys need junk taken? Go pick up people's old couches, pick up, things that people have been, sitting in their yard, old cars. Junk removal is a great business, but you need a truck or you need a trailer and something to tow the trailer. So if you don't have any of those, this business could be roughly a $10,000 startup cost. But if you do have a truck, you have a trailer, this is a great business to start. It's very low cost. All you need is some stuff for marketing. As long as you have the vehicle, you can get this started this week. It's a great business. Everybody has junk. They're just waiting for the opportunity to get it taken away. Number 4 is one that has a lot of competition, but it is a great one in my opinion. It's house cleaning. So residential interior house cleaning. What this is basically it's like a maid service, you know, Molly Maid. There's a whole bunch of them. Molly Maid might be one of the biggest ones. You can charge a lot for this. You can charge, you know, hundreds of dollars per room for a deep cleaning or more, depending on how bad it is, how big the room is. You're most likely going to charge by square foot. And the nice thing about this is everybody knows how to clean. Just you've probably seen a pattern between these businesses. In this first video, low startup cost, you know, the jobs, they're not too expensive, you know, but you're doing a lot of them per day. You know, you can do 3 to 4 of them. You can be very quick per day. Very easy to train people how to do these businesses. Junk removal, very easy. Pick it up, put it in the trailer. House cleaning, you train people to clean, be very detail oriented. People know how to clean. They know how to, you know, get inside the toilets, get under the toilets, clean. House cleaning is a great one because almost everybody knows how to clean, but almost nobody wants to clean their own house, especially deep cleaning. The nice thing about house cleaning residential is you can work with real estate agents, you can work with, you know, homeowners that are very busy. Typically homeowners that have 2 parents working are going to be in need of this service, or homeowners that make, you know, a good amount of money and they don't want to spend the time because it's not worth their time cleaning their own house. Typically you're going to clean a house once a week, maybe once every other week, because most people want their house clean every week. This is a very common reoccurring business, and if you do a good job, they're going to keep you around for a long time. All you have to do is build your clientele. If you can build, you know, a clientele of 50 customers that have you come in once a week or once every other week, you're building a genuine 6-figure business. Probably one of the most out of the ones we've talked about today. And the nice thing about it, like we mentioned, very easy to scale, very easy to train people, very low liability, low insurance costs. House cleaning, residential house cleaning is absolutely amazing. And like we talked about the other ones, you can always grow and scale into commercial. You can grow into carpet cleaning. You can grow into, you know, steam deep cleaning. That's, you know, going into the grout and tile, getting all that clean. Cleaning, house residential cleaning, great business, great scalability, great trainability, low liability, low startup cost, chemicals, vacuum, less than $1,000. Let's say if you want some good equipment, $2,000 to $3,000, great business to start. Out of all the ones on this business, probably the most one I would recommend is house cleaning. So let's get to the last business of the day. Before we get to that, if you guys like this video, please give me a like, give me a subscribe, helps out a lot. Number 5, everybody knows how to do it, lawn cutting. Lawn cutting, it's, you know, pretty common with, you know, high schoolers, people in school going around the neighborhood cutting lawns, but you can turn this into a full business. You don't have to do landscaping. You don't have to do the full, you know, reconstruction of yards. You can just do basic lawn cutting. People need their lawns cut in the summertime once every week or once every other week, depending on how much rain you're getting. If you can get, just like the house cleaning, if you can get 50 to 100 clients that you do every single week, you're making some serious money. You know, if you're doing 50 houses at $40 a house, because, you know, you're not the high school kid, you're not charging $15, $20, you're charging $40, you're charging 30, 40, 50, maybe 60, depending on what you're doing. You're cutting the grass, you know, doing the edging. You're cutting the grass, doing the edging, weed whipping. You're charging a good amount of money, but it's quick. You start by getting a push lawnmower. Most people have it. You save your money. You get a ride on. Once you get a ride on, you can do jobs very quick. Just like all these 5 businesses, lawn cutting is very scalable. Let's take a look back. Besides junk removal, the other 4 businesses, window cleaning, car detailing, house cleaning, and lawn cutting, are all 4 businesses where all you need to do is build your clientele. Once you have your clientele, you're done. They'll tell their neighbors, they'll tell their family. You're going to keep getting organic customers. If you can get 50 to 100, and it's going to take a while. It might take a year, it might take 2 years. It depends how hard you're working. If you can get 50 to 100 clients in those businesses, they're going to tell their neighbors. You're going to be getting jobs organically without having to market or advertise, and you're going to have all those customers as return clients, whether you do them once a week or twice a year. You're going to have those clients you're going to do over and over and over again. These businesses, you have to think about the ROI, the return on investment on each individual customer. Every customer has a lifetime value. And in these businesses, if you do a good job, your customer has a high lifetime value. And as you grow, you add services. Now you have a big clientele. They trust you. You can start offering different services for whatever you're doing. They're going to pick you because they trust you already. You've been doing work for them. These are 5 great businesses that you should start. You can start any of these 5 within this week. except maybe junk removal if you don't have the necessary equipment. The other 4, you can start them this week. Go on, get your business created, get some signs, start advertising, message people on Facebook. You can get that done in 2 days, and you can have a business by the end of next week if you actually wanted to and you try to put the effort in that most people aren't. The competition is low. If you're willing to put in even a little bit of effort, you're gonna make it past majority of the competition, guys. Thank you, guys. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave a comment down below on a business you want to start, and I will catch you in the next video. Make sure to stay tuned for part 2 in the Profitable Local Service Business series. And then, of course, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to part 15. Make sure you stay tuned. Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Bye.